There's 142 participants, so.
Business session will come to order. We are now holding a meeting of the 96th Illinois FFA State Convention. Mr. Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they are at their stations, and report back to you, Mr. President. The Sentinel.
Stationed by the door.
Your duties there?
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends and at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the president in maintaining order.
The reporter.
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
Your duties there?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to the Virgin Islands and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
Stationed at the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there?
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standings through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed at the ear of corn.
Your duties there?
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I'm asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Mr. Vice President, why do you keep the plow at your station?
The plow is a symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Not coming out where it's supposed
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Mr. President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. The secretary will call the roll of members.
There are 179 members and guests present, Mr. President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here? To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA membership possesses. May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this business session of the 96th Illinois FFA State Convention duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matters which may properly be presented. I would like to take this time to thank each and every member who has tuned in as a delegate representing their chapter at the 96th Illinois FFA State Convention. Thank you for carving out time to be with us on Zoom today. It is an honor to serve as a delegate for the Illinois FFA, and the decisions you make in this session will greatly influence our organization for years to come. This convention is held every year to complete delegate business. Serving as a delegate gives each one of you the privilege to represent your chapter. But with these privileges come duties and guidelines to follow. After the business session has begun, please remain tuned in until the completion of the session. If you have any issues throughout the business session, send a chat message privately to your district FFA board adult representative. District 1 is Casey Lynn Shimon. District 2 is Jason Perry. District 3 is Wyatt McGrew. District 4 is Jacqueline Meisner. And District 5 is Jennifer Earhart. Stay alert during the business session. The more focused we are, the sooner we can complete all of our business. It is important that you pay close attention to all of the presented information so you can make well-informed decisions at convention. You must realize
that every decision you make impacts not only you, but all 42,000 of our Illinois FFA members. If you fulfill your duties and cooperate with us, our business will run smoothly and we will all enjoy our time during the business session. For all your hard work you put in as a delegate, you will not go without a reward. You will receive an official 96th Illinois FFA State Convention t-shirt, which is sponsored by the Illinois Farm Bureau and by Southern Illinois University, Carbondale. That being said, there is one requirement to receive this t-shirt, but it's very simple. You must do an outstanding job as a delegate by attending the business session today and join us for the election session at 8 a.m. on June 13th, which I know you will all do. Thank you for your cooperation and congratulations on being selected and serving as a delegate. As you entered Zoom, the Illinois FFA Board of Directors verified delegate admission. If you are leaving the delegate Zoom, please type a message into the chat box. It is very important that we keep a record of who is attending this session. All questions must be typed into the chat box directed to Eric Wisely in a private message. When typing in the chat box, please type your first and last name and section in that order. Due to the circumstances of conducting our business in a virtual format, all business is limited to what is currently on the agenda and what has already been shared. The chair will not entertain motions or actions that are not relevant to the business that has been identified and presented. With that being said, our item of business today is to go over our consent agenda. This consent agenda is full of reports and degrees. Committee reports, our honorary state degrees, and our state degrees. And we will go on to vote to pass the consent agenda during the election session of the 96th Illinois FFA State Convention, which will take place at 8 a.m. on June 13th. This consent agenda contains 5 committee reports from this year: the Advisor Recruitment and Retention Committee Report, Agricultural Literacy Committee, Foundation Support Committee, Membership Engagement and Development Committee, and Policy and Advocacy Committee. This consent agenda also contains our 604 state degrees from this year, which is something to celebrate, and our 39 honorary degrees. Before we move into our committee reports, I want to give you more context on our committees. Every year, the Illinois FFA State Officer Team, which consists of the 5 major state officers, along with all 25 of our section presidents, divide into 5 committees to focus in on specific topics and do their best to enhance FFA, agriculture, or agricultural education in their specific area. This past year, every section president with a major state officer as a chair has worked very hard in their special committee to develop a plan of action to unite leadership and connections within our FFA membership. We have also worked closely with members of the Chapter Representative Engagement Webinar, or CREW, to come up with new ideas and implement them. If you attended any of the CREW meetings, go ahead and wave to the camera now. It was great to be able to work with all of these outstanding leaders throughout the past year. If you are interested in attending CREW, we will put a link into the chat where you can sign up through a Google form. I will now invite to the podium to read our first committee report, Tessa Sachs, and she is reading the Advisor Recruitment and Retention Committee Report.
Whereas agriculture teachers and FFA advisors dedicate their time and energy to the advancement of their chapter and the growth of the FFA members, whereas many teachers can be overwhelmed by their workload and expectation of dedicating weekend and evening hours toward FFA, and whereas according to a report from illaged.org, the average length of teaching agriculture is currently 10.39 years, and the median years of teaching agriculture is 7, and whereas the committee was established with the primary aim of offering support, appreciation, and recognition to educators statewide, with the overarching goal of enhancing advisor retention rates. Therefore, it is hereby resolved that future committee members shall continue the tradition of handwritten congratulations and thank you cards embellished with Teach Ag stickers as an expression of gratitude for the invaluable contributions made by advisors, and be it further resolved, future committee members continue to provide small tokens of appreciation for advisors at events and conferences, and be it further resolved. Future committee members create connections with university agriculture education programs and develop strategies for recruitment of agriculture educators, and be it further resolved, future committee members continue to spotlight the District Golden Owl Award winners on Illinois FFA's social media to celebrate our outstanding agriculture teachers and their accomplishments.
Thank you, Tessa. I will now invite Amber Gass to read the Ag Literacy Committee report.
Whereas understanding that agriculture is responsible for producing all of the food, fiber, and fuel the world needs, and since 1928, FFA has prepared future generations for the challenges of meeting the needs of a growing global population. And whereas it is crucial that FFA members strive to be able to synthesize and analyze and communicate information about agriculture at in-person events in order that their peers and the general public may know of the importance of all the facets of agriculture. And whereas the importance of acknowledging facts about agriculture via social media in relations to the local and state level has been and will continue to be a prime means of connecting the consumer with the producers who help put the food on the table. Therefore, be it resolved that Agriculture Literacy Committee be informed again in subsequent years, continue publishing Ag Fact Friday videos, working across all social media platforms, and attending in-person interactions across the state to share the story of agriculture with students in Illinois and the general public. And be it further resolved that Agriculture Literacy Committee work with agriculture in the classroom to celebrate Ag Literacy Week by encouraging FFA members to teach others about agriculture interactions in their schools and communities with the help of their Ag in the Classroom county coordinators and committee. Be it further resolved that Agriculture Literacy Committee promotes agriculture activities, projects, and lesson plans to FFA members, advisors, and the public during Agriculture Literacy Week via social media in order for the agriculture education resources to be more easily integrated into the classroom and be readily available to all.
Thank you, Amber. I will now invite Claire Meyer to read the Foundation Support Committee report.
Whereas recognizing the Illinois Association FFA is a non-profit organization that relies on income provided by the Illinois Foundation FFA. And whereas acknowledging the Illinois Foundation FFA is a continuous need of more financial support and increased awareness. And whereas it is vital that Illinois FFA members play a role in fulfilling the purpose of the foundation and giving back to the organization. And whereas it is important to recognize the merit of American degree recipients and to encourage them to give back to the foundation, which has given so much to them. Therefore, it be resolved, the Foundation Support Committee should continue to spread awareness of the foundation and solicit donations through letter writing, social media, and seek additional relationships with business and industry partners of the Illinois Association FFA. And be it further resolved, the Foundation Support Committee shall play a part in helping FFA members and section presidents become connected with local businesses and industries to cultivate new connections and sponsors for the Illinois Foundation FFA. And be it further resolved, it is suggested that the Foundation Support Committee creates and organizes a rotation of 4 annual fundraisers to support the foundation while continuing to raise awareness and advocate for the license plate initiative to receive the signatures needed for an Illinois FFA license plate. And be it further resolved, the Foundation Support Committee should continue to write letters and congratulations to American degree recipients and request their support of the foundation, as well as seek support from other groups, such as state FFA recipients.
Thank you, Claire. I will now invite Taylor Snook to read the Membership Engagement and Development Committee report.
Whereas the Member Engagement and Development Committee was designed to promote FFA opportunities and highlight members' efforts and successes via social media, and whereas Illinois FFA has seen a significant increase in membership and participation over the past 2 years, and whereas Illinois FFA is committed to helping members develop their leadership skills through statewide opportunities such as conferences, career development events, leadership camp, and state convention. Therefore, be it resolved that Illinois FFA continues to use social media platforms to inform a wider audience of opportunities in agriculture education and FFA, and be it further resolved that Illinois FFA continues to introduce section officer teams on social media accounts so that the growing membership is aware of the leaders in their area, and be it further resolved. The Illinois FFA actively gathers testimonials from participants of events, using them not only to promote future events, but also enhance the quality of state events that follow.
Thank you, Taylor. I will now invite Kaylee Turhot to read the Policy and Advocacy Committee report.
Whereas policy and legislation continue to impact Illinois FFA with program affiliation. Whereas the Ag-Ed line item continues to be crucial for Illinois FFA. Whereas the need for relationships with legislators and the government officials continues to grow. Therefore, be it resolved that thank you letters for legislators to be delivered with their baskets and lunches on Ag Legislative Day should be written by section officers at the 5-star conferences in the fall and the Ground Zero and Build conferences during the year. Resolved that this committee should continue to publish videos and information through social media and emails that promote Ag Legislative Day and increase member engagement. Resolved that a membership program between FFA members and established professionals in the political space be created to initiate career opportunities and connections for FFA members.
Thank you, Kaylee. Thank you for your attention and listening to our committee reports. Our next piece of the consent agenda is our state degrees. This year's 604 FFA members have been recommended to receive their state FFA degree. These members have kept numerous years of detailed records on their SAE programs, strived for academic excellence, completed the proper applications and interviews, and have performed to their greatest abilities to meet the requirements set by the Illinois FFA Constitution. The link to see the recipients of the state degree is in the chat. Again, we have 604 state degrees this year, the most Illinois FFA has ever had, and this points to the amazing growth that our organization continues to achieve. So check out the link in the chat and you can see those recipients' names. The final step to receiving that state FFA degree will be the approval by you, the delegates, at state convention when we will vote to approve the consent agenda. The last part of the consent agenda is the honorary state FFA degree, which is awarded to individuals who render outstanding service and dedication to the Illinois Association FFA. These individuals have dedicated a great amount of time and effort to the betterment of our organization. This year, 39 candidates have been recommended for their honorary FFA state degree, and you can find their names by looking at the link in the chat. The honorary degrees will again also be a part of the consent agenda and voted on at convention. To reiterate, the 5 committee reports that you heard today from the 5 committees on the Illinois FFA state officer team, the list of the state degree recipients, and the list of the honorary state degree recipients will all be a part of our consent agenda. We will then go on to vote on that consent agenda on June 13th at 8 a.m. in the election session. This concludes all items of business that make up the consent agenda. We look forward to seeing you at the state convention election session on June 13th at 8 a.m. where you will vote on the consent agenda and pick your 2024-2025 major state officer team. I will now seek a motion to adjourn this session.
Mr. President.
The chair recognizes the delegate from Section 8.
Kaylee Turha, Chicago Ag Sciences. I move to adjourn.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Taylor Smith, Cambridge. I second that motion.
It has been moved and seconded to adjourn this session. All members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion carries. Madam Secretary, do you have a record of any further business which should now be transacted?
Yes, I do. As a reminder, the business session for elections begin at 8 a.m. Thursday, June 13th during the 96th Illinois FFA State Convention at the Bank of Springfield Center. You don't want to miss the opportunity to cast a ballot for the 2024-2025 state officer team.
Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which should properly come before this meeting? We are about to adjourn this business session of the 96th Illinois FFA State Convention. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, please join me in a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I now declare this business session adjourned.
Bluetooth disconnected. Bluetooth pairing. Bluetooth connected.